In a turbulent world, we are all searching for connection, reaching for a genuine bond, dreaming of a place to call home.
Through melodies, we find our solace, a bridge between dreams and reality, a light that guides us forward and brings us together as one.
This music, these dreams, they belong to you. And through you, they hold the power to unite us all. We are XiJaro and Pitch. And together with you, we are chasing dreams.
Hello, hello, this is Chasing Dreams. With XiJaro and Pitch with experimenting with some new backgrounds. But of course the music is still the same. Our favorite trance, bangers and beyond in a very spontaneous version and mix. And right now we have a new remix of a very, very well-known classic, Vera Kozak Carte Blanche. Orjan Nilsen has done pretty good work with this one. What do you think? Arky and Medusa, Melodia. Definitely one of my favorite tracks at the moment. Is it trance? Is it melodic house? I don't know anymore. I don't really care, to be honest. It's a really, really nice track. And I'm happy to be playing it here on Chasing Dreams. Hope you guys are having a good day over there. Good evening, good night, wherever you might listen in. Let me know whatsapp.xijaro.pitch.com, what you're up to this summer. And also what you think about the new studio that we're trying out right now. Or I should say, like, well, it's one studio but multiple views. So yeah, let me know what you think. Check our YouTube out, or on Twitch, of course, if you haven't seen it yet. Back to the music now with Kenza and Nuella on Abora Skies.
Chasing Dreams with XiJaro and Pitch. You and I.
There's a fire burning and it's
was Heat Beats and Big Topo Voltage on Chasing Dreams. And now in the background, some guys coming from the electro scene, but now also into the peak time techno. This is not alive. Everybody look at me. Definitely stay tuned if you want some really nice vocals, because Christina Novelli is coming up.
Chasing Dreams.
Thank you for chasing dreams with us. For more, follow our socials at XiJaro and Pitch. Sweet dreams, and until next week.
Circle Syndicate here on Chasing Dreams. That was a new, really tough one, but I really like it, by NS King. Before that, Don't Let It End, Oliver Smith and Jess in a remix by Darren Porter, also very nice, and not the last one by Darren we will have here on the show. Let me know if you've been able to see us somewhere. We played at a Full Moon Festival. That will be hopefully online soon. Seeing what we can do about that. And of course I also played in Malaysia. And in less than 2 weeks I'll be in Poland for Sunrise Festival on the FSOE stage. And this is the new Robbie Seed, All Over Again.
Different places, seems like we're two worlds apart, sharing spaces. Love fell deep into the dark. Did we lose love? Was it enough to want you back? You're the one I choose, love. Don't let all our fate to black. When the lights came and swept you up, when there was nothing left to say, my heart wasn't strong enough.
Still on Chasing Dreams. That is the newest release on, well, the same label, Chasing Dreams Music. Banger by Fred Moss and Still. That was definitely not the only banger we played. Angular's with yet another track. He released so many. This one, Dancing with Ghosts. Ram released his 30 Years of Ram album with remixes from his tunes throughout the years. And this one here is by Mr. Driftmoon, and I'm actually going to Driftmoon studio next week. I wonder what's gonna come out of that. This, of course, the sounds of Elijah.
Mare tu e mare, ane mare
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Peter Rees. Peter Rees for the raid. If you listen to the 3 hours edition of this show on Twitch, sometimes people send their people over when they're done streaming, and that had just happened here with Peter Rees with 37 people. Thank you so much for coming. There was a Proximus there by Marco V. Oh, what do I now say? Ryan Carney and Mauro Picotto. And we're almost at the end of this episode of Chasing Dreams. And I'm leaving you with our favorite track of this week, Darren Porter and the Rise of Arcanus. And before it also, Will Reese and Arky. This is The Villain. Thank you so much for being here, and a special shout out to our Patreon members. Keep on chasing dreams.
This week's Dream Theme. Thank you for chasing dreams with us. For more, follow our socials at XiJaro and Pitch. Sweet dreams, and until next week.